Hi everybody, Cheaply Chic. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So today is a continuation of the last video. I'm just going to jump right into it because for me, it's the same day. I created this little decor on the cover, in the cover of my Give Thanks journal in the last video, and I'm anxious to get started working in the book pages. So I still have all of my craft supplies around me. I'm still in the middle of this process. And like I mentioned before, there are 30 pages in these Traveler's Notebook size journals, and there are 30 days in the month of November, and I'm planning on using this as a gratitude journal for the month of November. So I've been working it over in my brain because I can kind of be a little wordy sometimes, but I would actually like to keep this journal pretty simple. Yeah, I have to figure out what that looks like because I don't really like decorating from page 1 to page 30 using the book pages in order. I've kind of gotten out of the habit of that. So it's a little challenging for me to think that way. This was the Ideals book page that was in my collection, and I tore off some of these pages in the last video to decorate my pocket with, but I want this poem about the month of November, and I'm thinking I would like to add it to my first page, but what that means is there's one page down where I'm not going to have a spot to add something I'm grateful for day one. Unless I make a pocket, which I might do. But before I tear up too much of this book, this page, I want to get this poem out of here because I'm afraid I'm going to rip into it if I don't. I started to, in the last video, so I don't know. I don't really have a plan. I know once I get going in this journal, it'll all start happening. It always does. But because I'm filming a video, I always am a little intimidated if I don't have a plan right away. Yes, let's see. I'm just going to keep ripping this poem. I'll save the artwork for something else because I do like that sketching on there. Okay, so for now I have my poem. I'm going to take some vintage photo. I've been using the color tea dye as well, so I'm going to keep that out, but I'm going to ink the edges of this, and then I'm probably going to create a pocket of some kind and attach this to the front of the pocket. That way I can still have day one on the first page. I hope all of you are doing well today. I hope that you're having a good day wherever you're at. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm still not exactly sure what I'm going to do, but I do have some of this manila folder in my stash, and I think I want to create some kind of pocket, maybe a flip out of some kind, and I'm going to use this material. I have the manila tag that came in my collection, but the poem is a little too big for that. So I want to do something with this manila folder. And for now, I'm just going to tear off the front side of it. This is a very thick manila folder. It's a vintage one. So I'm kind of impressed by how thick the material is. Okay, so tearing it is rough, so I'm just going to cut it here. Cut this portion off of it. And then let's see. It is a little long for my page as is. I think it would be fun to add it to the page to have some kind of little tuck and then maybe a fold, like a little folder of some kind, but that means I have to cut it. Let's start by cutting it to fit the page. The pages are typically 8.5 inches tall, so I'm going to cut it at, how tall is my poem? Let's see. Much smaller than 8. So I'm going to cut it at 8 inches tall, so I have a little bit of wiggle room on my book page. That's a good starting point. And what shall we do? The sky is the limit, right? I think I'm actually going to make a little flip out of it because I've never done that, and I don't know, I just feel like making a little flip. So I think I'm going to make it about 3.5 inches wide, which means I need to cut this at 7 inches wide so I can fold it in half. So 7.5 inches, right? That's what I said? 7 inches. Goodness, Lynette, I'm already gonna mess it up. Okay, so it is 8 inches tall and 7 inches wide, and because of the natural cut that already, you know, has been on this folder, I think I'm going to trim the edge. And let's see, use my corner rounder here, just round that edge similar to what's on the other end. Here, I like that. And let's get an idea of what this looks like in our book. And then I'm probably, because this material is so thick, I'm going to get my scoreboard just to be safe. You wouldn't have to have a scoreboard. You could just fold it, which I really could just fold it. But I have this sitting next to me, so I'm just gonna grab it. And let's see. Make sure I'm folding this the way I want to. I'm going to score it here at 3.5. And I'm just going to fold it in half. So this can work with any paper, obviously any manila folder or something from the Dollar Tree. Easy peasy. Okay. So far, that is my little piece of manila folder that I have going on. And also I can get this poem on here and still have a place for my journaling for day 1. I think I'm actually going to take a little bit more of that off the bottom just so it fits on my paper. Now I could make it match my pocket and add some of this autumn leaf. That is so pretty. That image is just so pretty. Well, I'm definitely going to start by inking this folder up a little bit. And I'm trying to figure out if I want to leave it to where I can open it or if I want to make a pocket. You know what? I'm going to open it because I make pockets all the time. And I know there will be a lot of pockets in this already. So I'm going to branch out and try something a little new for me. I don't know. See what happens. Okay, so I have some of this old notebook paper in my stash, and I'm never using this stuff as often as I should. So I think it would be fun to add this to my journaling page. My goodness, you guys, sometimes it's so overwhelming. More supplies isn't necessarily a better thing. It can overwhelm me. I don't know what to mess with, you know? I don't know what to use. I feel overwhelmed. Anyway, just a side note as I'm trying to go through this fall stuff and make sure I'm using things. So my folder is cut at 8 inches. I'm going to go just under 8 inches then with this scrapbook paper. This is just a scrap out of a out of a Michael's Hot Buy paper pad from last year, I think. Maybe 2 years ago. I might not have bought any last year either. And I just want to have enough in the background of this paper. I don't like how that paper is see-through, so now I'm going to be really picky about that apparently. So maybe I want to go over the top. I'm just going to tear off a chunk of this because I know I'm not going to use the whole thing, so that'll just help me see it a little more clearly. I don't have a plan. I think I mentioned that already, so it can be a little intimidating to just hop on camera, see what we can do on the fly. Maybe that's gonna be okay. I'm gonna tear this edge so it all matches. And I think I'm gonna go over the top of the notebook paper. All right, I'm just going to use this on the edges of my notebook paper. This will be a nice big journaling spot for day one. So do you guys enjoy doing a gratitude journal? I know I have some friends that do them all year long, really focusing on gratitude, and it really helps them, you know, with their day-to-day stuff to help fight negativity and just to remember all that it is that we truly have to be grateful for, no matter what else is going on in our lives, what hardships we're facing, that there is always something to be thankful for. So I know that a lot of people do enjoy doing that year round. I try to focus that way in general in my journaling, but I do enjoy it for the month of November. I enjoy making a special journal for that. All right, I think so far I'm liking this. Do I want to glue it down? Do I want to commit to that? So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because it's acetone based, as many of you already know, instead of water based. So especially with a piece of notebook paper this thin, it's going to dry and it isn't going to have all those warbly lines in it that a water-based paper would, or glue, I'm sorry, a water-based glue would have, and I love that in my journaling. It is also an acid-free glue for those of you who have asked me that before. That question can come up, so just thought I would mention it. So let's see, I'm just going to glue it on here. And maybe we'll see the glue at first as it's drying, but it really does dry to a nice clear finish, and I love that glue so much. And then I'm just going to glue this piece down as well. All right. And now let's get our fold on that paper before too much change happens. So that's our little journaling spot so far. All right, let's see. I like that. I'm definitely going to need to do some sewing on here because I love my machine stitching. Let's see. I do think I want to add some of this book page. I took a big chunk out of this up here. So I think I'm just going to tear it off here. And just to get an idea, let's grab our poem. All right. I'm liking that. I'm going to leave this edge straight. Okay. But I think that I would like to add something back there. Maybe not. I won't add any more paper because I'll probably layer some leaves or stickers or something. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down. I do love the Ideals book pages. You can pick them up on eBay. Pretty much I have found, because I use them in the collections so much, they came out with them on a yearly basis, but it kind of had the same stuff in it. They weren't, sometimes there would be different photos, but sometimes they were just rearranged. And, you know, the book was created in a different order than the previous year. So don't feel that you have to get one year over another. Most of the time they are very, very similar, but they do make for awesome seasonal journaling. I love the fall and I love the Christmas. Those are two that I've used frequently. All right, so I'm just going to glue this down as well. All right, so I'm liking this so far. I'm just going to take this over to my machine and I'm going to stitch, I think, around the edges here, just a little bit. So that's the stitching. I just added a little bit of a fancy stitch there, and I zigzagged up the side of my folder. And I'm trying to decide if I want to leave this open so that I can tuck something back behind there. So I'm just going to glue it down completely against that page. And because I know that it fits on the entire book page, I'm going to add glue everywhere on this folder. Now I feel like it needs some kind of closure, right? Now that I've glued it all the way down to my book page. It definitely needs a closure of some kind. So what can I do since I've already glued it down? I love that though, it's so cute. Well, I think for now, I'm just going to close it with a paper clip until I know what I'm going to do on the second page. That way, I was thinking about adding like an eyelet that I could attach a string and tie around it, but the paper is weak, and because I'm not sure what I'm going to do over here yet, I'm going to wait on that. But I am thinking of trying something like this again, adding a closure next time, and maybe having some kind of tie that I can open, and then I can do my journaling on the inside. Now I do have some of these leaf tags. These are left over from last year, and I thought it might be fun to do a little decorating on this border piece here that we created. I also have some of these tags from the Target dollar spot, man, probably a couple years ago now. More than a year ago. Maybe I want to use that one here. Okay, I've been messing around a little bit, and I think I'm going to use this mini glassine bag that came in the collection, and I'm going to add it to the inside here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of ink to this, and then I'm going to glue it down. It's fun sometimes to have writing spots within writing spots. It's always a great little place if you are stumped when it comes to using little tiny journaling spots like this. I used to be. When I first got started in junk journaling, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. I was like, what are you going to write there? It's so little. But really, it's a fabulous place to write either a quote or a scripture verse or a song lyric or something. Yeah, so I've really learned to enjoy it. So this is the claim check that came in the collection. And I think I'm just going to add, I wouldn't have to tear that piece. Again, I could just use my scrap if I use that piece, but I think I'm going to glue it onto this notebook paper here. I love these claim checks and those mini glassine bags because they always fit. So I always include them in the collections because I think they're fun. They're one of my favorite things. So yes, I'm just going to glue that down. I like that little piece, those notebook lines showing through there. So I know that most of you already know, but there is a design team with this collection. They will be sharing at least one video where they're working in the collection or they've completed their journal, one or the other. So I will link those amazing women in the description box down below because you don't want to miss them. I love how everyone is different. Everyone sees things differently, and it just creates so much inspiration. And I just love having them use the collection so we can all share it together. I just love that. So if you aren't subscribed to them, please be sure to go check out their channels. You won't want to miss how they use their journals. So I'm just inking this up again. And I do love this notebook paper on the back of that claim check. That is awesome. And of course, then it matches my spread. So I'm just going to add that in there. I should have inked in there because I have some of these little critters from your lady. He's kind of big, but there's this little owl and he would be cute poking out of there. Oh my goodness, yes. He is going to poke out of there. Sometimes it's the little things. Let's see, how can I ink up the edge of that without getting it on my notebook paper? If my glue is still dry, damp enough, not dry. If the glue is not dry, I can open it back up. There. I'm gonna take my ink pad off here. This is gonna make my fingers messy, but I'm going to fold my little sponge and try to work it in there as best I can. There. I just want those lines to have a little bit of definition. Okay, I have ink all over my fingers now, so forgive me for that, but I saved what I wanted to do. So I'm just going to add some more glue here. Glue this in place. Add a little spot to my owl. There. That's just cute to me. Now he can peek out at me every time I open that page. Okay, so I got my little owl poking out of there. Super cute. My lined paper for journaling. And I'm trying to decide if I want to stick anything on this before I put it away in its pocket. I don't think so. Maybe later. Maybe when I'm working in the journal, I'll add some stickers or something, but just going to add him there. And then I think I like this tag on that pocket. And I don't think the string will really be in the way. I like the string. Right, we'll just center that on that bag. And then you guys know I have these leaves floating around. That one's a little too bulky. This is where I would love to get out the hot glue gun because I love me some hot glue. I also have these little table scatter pieces and some bling. Maybe I want to add some bling. Okay. I'm going to layer a little bit of these leaves here. Again, these are just some fabric leaves I picked up at Dollar Tree, so super affordable and so much fun. I love adding them to my fall journals. So I'm just going to glue those on there. And then, I don't know, there's some bling pieces that came in the collection. I keep pulling out brown. I know there's more than brown, but they're all mixed up with my table scatter. I think I like the green. Maybe I just want to add that little touch of green bling there. And I do like Fabri-Tac for these as well. It works great. Gonna pop him there. Okay, you guys, and I think that is it for today. I think that's it for this video. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it's super cute. And one of the things I do when I'm using my traveler's notebook, I want to get a new mat of some kind that I can use. I should just make one, to be honest. But when I'm writing in something that flips out, I like to put a hard surface in here, but I like it to not be too big. So if you guys know of anything, could you leave me a note in the description box? Because I would love to know if they make something specifically for this purpose that I could use behind my traveler's notebook page, and then a flip out would still have enough room for writing. I don't know. Let me know if you know of something or what you like to do for that. Or if I just need to make something because I probably could make something with cardstock, right? All right, so I think that is good for today. I already added some blingy bulk, but that doesn't really bother me because of the nature that I'm using this journal for. I don't plan on doing a ton of journaling in here, but I am loving this. Love the little owl poking out of that little window. And of course, the cover. And then I think it just brings it all together. I am going to be doing something like this again so that I can create a closure, because that was something, you know, that I should have thought through this time. All right, you guys, I think that's it for today. And unfortunately, I need to stop filming too, because I promised my husband I would go to dinner with him tonight. So this gloomy day, I could definitely stay in this craft room, but I need to go spend time with him. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like button. Be sure to check out the design team. Make sure you're subscribed to their channel so you don't miss their upcoming videos as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.